Thanks for watching Wednesday Debate Live with Taghreed Hussein here on Nile TV International. Tonight we will be focusing on a very important topic, talking Egypt's regional, continental, as well as global presence. One of the main characteristics as well as the main targets of the new republic is mainly marketing Egypt globally, while shedding light on all the considerable achievements on the ground. Egypt's political leadership is sparing no effort today to improve our country's standing, as the image of the nation can dramatically influence its economic vitality and allow it to take part in the world today and in the competition for trade, foreign investment, as well as attention. This in addition to our successes also politically. Today the state has managed to launch several mega national projects all over the country that are reaping fruit and definitely branding Egypt globally. Those important projects and infrastructure projects all over the country. As a result, Egypt is witnessing a drastic change with various accomplishments nationwide, rebuilding the country, planning its path to the future in a way that consolidates its global presence and transforming Egypt into one of the respected nations all over the whole world. Well, talking about Egypt's path and this important topic, tonight we're really honored to have with us Professor of Marketing Management, Professor Dr. Jihan Zahran, and I thank you so much, Dr. Jihan, for joining Nile TV's The Daily Debate Live tonight. And together we will be reading more into the President's important visit to Belgium and his meeting also earlier in the day with the King of Belgium at the Royal Palace in Brussels. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me here.
Always a pleasure, my dear. The President met earlier today with His Majesty King Philippe, the King of Belgium, at the Royal Palace in Brussels. The official spokesman for the presidency, His Excellency Ambassador Bassam Radi, had stated that King Philippe had welcomed the President on his first visit to Belgium, praising the extended historical relations that bring together the two friendly countries at all levels and stressing his country's keenness to develop them in various domains, especially in light of the tangible development progress that Egypt is witnessing. King Philippe also praised the pivotal role played by Egypt in consolidating stability in the region and Africa, especially in the context of combating illegal immigration and terrorism, achieving coexistence between religions, and supporting peaceful solutions to crises in its regional environment. On his behalf, the President expressed appreciation for the warm welcome from the Belgians, praising the solid and extended Egyptian-Belgian relations and the advanced level it reached on the various levels during the recent period, and expressing Egypt's aspiration to deepen and strengthen it on the economic and the commercial levels. Earlier in the day, President Sisi had received Jean-Luc Morange, the executive president at the Belgian Cockerill Defense, where he affirmed Egypt's appreciation of the extended and fruitful cooperation with Belgium on various levels. The president expressed the aspirations to deepen cooperation between the two friendly countries, especially in light of the distinguished production of John Cockerill Defense in the field of defense industries and its support to Egypt's capabilities in that regard. Morange, for his part, affirmed the keenness to cooperate with Egypt, especially in light of the importance of the role in strengthening the foundations of stability and security in the Middle East, the Eastern Mediterranean, and the African continent, in addition to the prominent Egyptian role as part of the international efforts to combat terrorism. Very busy day for President Sisi. The President also received today Peter John de Nul. He is the CEO of the Belgian Dredging Company at his residence in Brussels, in the presence of Lieutenant General Ahmed Khaled, the commander of the Strategic Command, the Egyptian ambassador in Brussels, and a number of company officials. Ambassador Bassam Radi, official spokesman for the president, said that the meeting witnessed discussing prospects for cooperation between the Egyptian side and the Belgian company with regards to projects to develop and protect the Egyptian coastal beaches, especially on the Mediterranean. The president praised the level of existing cooperation with the Belgian companies in general in terms of development projects and infrastructure, stressing Egypt's aspirations to continue and develop this cooperation. Also on Wednesday, the president held a meeting with the CEOs and officials of DEM Group, the company of Port of Antwerp and Fluxies in Brussels. In the meeting, President Sisi stressed Egypt's national strategy to enhance the use of alternative fuels and orientation towards clean energy with a focus on the production of green hydrogen in cooperation with foreign partners and in accordance with Egypt's Vision 2030 for sustainable development. Well, we'll be talking about this important topic, the European-African Summit in Brussels. Dr. Jihan, a very important summit that comes timely while we are sinking the sense of link between the African Union and the European Union.
Yeah, actually, I want to comment about exactly what's happening in Brussels. I want to focus on the president visit by himself.
Yes.
On that.
Definitely.
And that makes a little bit to know how the role of Egypt is really important in Africa. So let's know about what's going on, because, you know, like people want to know exactly, okay, what initiative? Why European and African that's having the union? I'm talking about what? Why this from the beginning? I mean, like, talking about the points that you have mentioned related to the immigration, related to the Africa, why the people in Africa are immigrating and going to another country? Why the immigration itself? Because they don't find sustainable education, and they don't find the good health and the good the facility that they can get from their country, and that's why they're looking for immigration. So the initiative from the beginning, it's coming from the European to make sustainable in the African. Okay, and they know exactly that's to make them depending on themselves and to make sustainable in all the fields. And Egypt's role coming to join the vision of 2030 related to that. Okay, and that's really what happened in 2017 in Cote d'Ivoire, the previous one, when they started and say, in the next 5 years, we will focus on to make the sustainable industrial way and giving the Africa the rights to have its own sustainable things and developing the skills and to be independent and no need for such illegal immigration.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and that's actually what the president said on his visit in the ECAS of the University for the Petroleum. He said that and mentioned Africa has the right for doing that.
Yeah.
So there is lots of development happening that, and maybe we can see the fruits a little bit showing nowadays.
Yes.
And the initiative for the role that's always happening from the Egypt side. So
it's very important, a very important role, so to speak, Dr. Jihan, while we are seeing, of course, the presidential endeavors to reinvigorate this sense and re-energize the international efforts towards Africa, facilitating the integration of African states into the world economy. Is considered to be a very important and a noble cause. And on top of the list, when we are talking the Africa, the AU summit and AU-EU summit, actually.
Do you know that Africa, it has like billion, and there is average yearly 30 million, okay, they are willing to go, they are immigrating 30 million yearly. Yeah. And that's a very big number. We have youth, and we have the human resource. And they are going outside to find a chance to start an entrepreneur and to start up. So that's the main issue then, and that's really collecting and covering the skills that really can make the countries in Africa doing exactly what they are doing right now. So there is some things that's really they are focusing on, of course, the education and the health, the technology, and the digital transformation. And they know exactly that we have been raised in 2017 till now, lots of network coming to the African in other countries during that time.
Yeah.
And it's really a little bit improving for what's going on nowadays. And what they are being improvement, and they are Egypt specifically. And you know, from the marketing perspective,
yes,
when you start doing any business in Africa, you start in Egypt first.
Of course, the mother of the world, the core and the heart of Africa.
When they start in Egypt, and they are really easily to be expanded in Africa. And that's really main role in Egypt. And visiting the president there, and to show exactly we are doing that, and we are welcoming, and we are supporting what's going on in Africa. Okay.
Definitely supporting what's going on in Africa and supporting Africa's transformation, as Dr. Jihan was mentioning, also concerning digitization. And we'll return back to this issue because this is considered to be actually the future. So we are foreseeing the future, and also the link between digitization and entrepreneurship in Africa, which is also a very important aspect. Well, officials from more than 50 member states of the European and African Union are meeting on February 17th and the 18th for this important European-African Summit in Brussels. The following report highlights the agenda of the summit, and we'll be back to further discuss and highlight more on the agenda and the main objectives of this important forum.
Leaders and government officials from more than 50 member states of the European and African Union will meet on February 17th to 18th at a European-African summit in the Belgian capital, Brussels, to renew and deepen the partnership between the two unions, launch an ambitious African-European investment package, and discuss current global challenges. The 6th Africa-Europe Summit will be held this year under the title Africa and Europe, Two Continents with a Common Vision until 2030. According to the agenda published on the European Union website, the summit is a unique opportunity to lay the foundations for the renewal and deepening of the partnership between the African Union and the European Union, with the highest political participation of leaders and heads of governments from both sides, based on trust and a clear understanding of common interests. The spokesperson for the Egyptian presidency revealed the topics President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi will focus on in his speech on Thursday during the 6th European Union-African Union Summit in Brussels. The President will urge the reinvigoration of international efforts targeting the integration of African states into the world economy and aid them to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals 2030, known as SDGs. The Egyptian head of state will subsequently underscore the importance of transferring technology to developing countries, channeling foreign investments to them, and helping them expand their reliance on renewable energy. The President will also stress the necessity to crystallize a joint vision on backing and funding Africa during the pandemic. That is in addition to facilitating the proliferation and fair distribution of technicalities pertinent to the epidemic, especially those related to the production of vaccines. President el-Sisi will present some of Egypt's preparations to host COP27 in Sharm el-Sheikh in November 2022. And in that context, he will highlight the efforts deployed by Egypt so that the outcomes will be balanced and applicable.
الجديدة ميلاد دولة جديدة إعلان جمهورية تانية
So a very important summit taking place, and the president will be presenting definitely some of Egypt's preparations to host also the COP27 in Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt in November 2022. I'm really honored to have with us His Excellency Ambassador Dr. Mohammed Higazi, a former assistant to the Foreign Minister. Well, Your Excellency, this important meeting taking place in Brussels, the 6th European Union, African Union Summit, which is scheduled for the 17th and the 18th of February, a very significant summit, Ambassador, that comes timely. And His Excellency, the President, sharing is definitely reflecting on Egypt's heavy weight in the region, and also presenting the preparations to host COP27 in Sharm el-Sheikh. Ambassador.
Thank you very much, Taghlib. Indeed, it is a very important meetings. I think the 6th round of talks or partnership between the African Union and the European Union are of paramount importance. The slogan of this 6th round of partnership is about two continents with a shared vision, 2030. The first of these sessions was held in Cairo in 2000, where they have established the action plan of Cairo, where they have identified the mechanisms of this partnership. This year, a lot of issues that is to be shared between the European Union, the historical and the closest geographical and culture partner to the African Union, about development, about peace and security, and many challenges that they can together surmount and face in a stronger manner. The most important issues that they will cover during their talks that will start tomorrow till mid-Friday, the issue of engaging the African economy and integrated it into the world economy. This is very important. Africa, if it did not catch up with digitalization, with development, with the SDGs, it will be left behind in all aspects. So they need partnership with Europe so that they can move further. The issue of foreign investments and supporting African economy is a call that President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi always referred to as a way to confront terrorism and illegal immigration. Without investing in the continent, people will come to you. And this is very important effort that we look to the 6th round to move us in the transfer of technology, in the renewable energy. And of course, as you rightly said, Egypt will be the champion of COP27, and it has a lot to say in this very important issue where Africa is suffering from the emissions caused by the industrial world. Of course, the challenge of the epidemic is one of the most urgent need for Africa, where we need to localize the technologies for producing vaccines and so on.
Yes.
The second most important part, Taghlib, maybe this is your question that will come, is about the activities of President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi today in Brussels. As you know, President always present Egypt as an attractive investment opportunity, and indeed it is. We have worked hard to attain a very strong modern economy that is harmonized with international norms. And for that, the President, at the outset of his activities, of course, there is a political aspect when he met with King Philip Leopold, King of Belgium. And tomorrow he will meet Alexander de la Croo, the Prime Minister of Belgium. And many of the regional and international issues will be exposed, as he also met Charles Michel. And tomorrow, I think he will meet the head of the European Union, Ursula, as well, van der Leyen, and he will talk about the challenges that is facing the Arab region, North Africa in particular, because this is the southern part of Europe, And as we always say, the Egyptian national security is attached to the European national security. And if North Africa is stable, the efforts we are executing, then we will help Europe to confront many of the challenges that is caused by the disarray in this very important adjacent regional part of Southern Europe, which is North Africa.
Definitely, Ambassador, yes. Deepening this sense of partnership between the African Union and the European Union, and building on what Egypt has actually achieved during the chairmanship of the African Union. It was a very fruitful year for Egypt, and Egypt's support to Africa also, and His Excellency seeing eye to eye on regional and international issues with African leaders is always taking place and keeping pace.
Yes, Egypt was the spokesman of Africa in the climate change summit in Paris, and today it will also reflect the point of view of Africa. As we have won the bid for COP27 on our African platform. And in Brussels, one of the many issues that will be discussed is definitely climate change. However, the round tables that is designed for tomorrow, as the summit will take a thematic subject that will be covered by the heads of states who will attend the round tables, as well as experts from different parts in this different fields. The most important subjects that will be covered during those round tables will be the finance of development, will be definitely enhancing the role of the private sector and the integration and comprehensiveness economy, as well as the vaccine and confronting the COVID-19 epidemic. Agriculture and sustainable development will be also another topic of roundtables. The education and culture, vocational training, immigration, displacement, as well as the issues of peace and security and governance will be also covered. Digitalization, renewable energy, transport, and infrastructure are among the many topics that the roundtables will discuss tomorrow and day after tomorrow to collect it all in a joint Vision 2030, which will be the final statement of the partnership meeting between African Union and the European Union. A very important summit, which will couple also with another kind of meetings on a bilateral level between the President and the rest of the Belgium companies who have met today. The President have met today many of the most renowned members of the Belgium coalition of business leaders. He met the military industries or the defense industries in Belgium. He met also the renewable energy companies, as well as the Antwerp port authorities, one of the world's most renowned ports and most important. He have definitely discussed the issue of green hydrogen. The future of energy is key to President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi discussion in Brussels.
Definitely, Ambassador, and this is what we call, of course, branding Egypt globally through the successful Egyptian foreign policy and the President's heavyweight presence in such a very important summit. Your Excellency, Ambassador Dr. Mohammed Higazi, former Assistant to the Foreign Minister, thank you so much for your valuable information, as always.
My pleasure.
Thank you. Dr. Jihan, as His Excellency Ambassador Higazi has mentioned, also digitization, and we were talking about that before the phone call with His Excellency. Digitization and education is considered to be also among the important topics to be discussed at the summit. No sustainability or sustainable development without paying special attention and emphasis on education. And this is mainly also the core of your specialty.
Yeah. But when we come to this summit, especially the summit investing this time is completely different investment. They are investing in humans this time. Okay.
Yeah. And this is one of the main mottos of the new republic, investing in humans, in the Egyptian citizen, and in the human capital of Egypt.
So when you invest in the humans, they want to tell them they have to be trained, they have to be a lot of things that they have to be done by themselves. So we are not investing in like before. So investing in humans to be self-independent, to know exactly what's going on. So, and that's will never happen without education.
Yes.
Okay, so the word education, having the training, having the education itself, having the digital transformation, the technology in education. So to cope what's going on in development, it's sustainability nowadays. So you cannot do that without training the humans how to do it. Because investment this time is completely, really ethically. Okay?
Yes.
So education is main core. And when we talk about health, we talk about technology, we talk about science, and we talk about the climate, and we talk about resources, and what we can do to make Africa depending on itself and their resources, which is education. So how this will be educated? So that's another issue.
Yeah.
We'll not say about the challenges because we used to challenges actually, and we know exactly what to do. We know the know-how, so we just need to be expanded.
Yes. Doctor, I know that your master's was mainly focusing on marketing management. And from this point, which is very important from the eye of a specialist, how do you see the endeavors that are being carried out in order to brand Egypt globally today? And we can see that by the president himself. As he visits world countries, branding Egypt globally, presenting our Vision 2030, and also letting the whole world know more about the achievements and the development projects that Egypt has managed to establish today.
Yeah, so actually my master was in marketing and education, and my PhD was in management and education. So let's talk about marketing. And I want just to tell the audience something related to the marketing. Marketing is not advertising. Marketing is to develop. When I develop a service or a product, so I'm marketing it. So what's going on nowadays is to develop. When you develop, you will be shown easily because I'm developing myself. So I'm developing and I'm coping.
And when you are presenting quality, you are also showing yourself.
Definitely. So I'm developing what's going on. I'm making the cope. I'm being the latest. I'm being updated. Okay. So that's the marketing, actually. So when is that shown with actions, with real actions on the floor? And that's really have the branding and the marketing, as you said, in Egypt, in the New Republic, new generation. They have to know exactly what's Egypt are starting right now on the right way. What Egypt are having the path in different and parallel lines. Okay, not only focusing on Egypt. Now we are focusing on what's around Egypt. Okay, in our continent, Africa.
Yes.
So we are the core, and we can do that easily because we are the center. When we start doing something here, it's really being expanded. We see the model, successful models, and it's really having copy-paste to all the African countries. So, and we can give that so many, just a sample example, like 2 days ago when the president did something in Brussels, lots of ambassadors are opening new things, which is really the quality of education. And that's really a small sample. We're expanding in Egypt for the quality, and they know exactly what the globalism means. And as the ambassador said, the integration between the European Union and the African Union, it helps a lot and fast because there is a standard. So we can follow and we can just integrate for the sharing info and now expanding and very easy and quick. And that's the main issue from really the integration between the vision that Egypt initiative for 2030 to complete it with the summit, with the European African one.
It's also a great chance, as we were speaking, because anticipating, as Ambassador Higazi said that in his speech Thursday during the 6th European Union African Union Summit in Brussels, the President is expected to underscore the importance of transferring technology to developing countries, as well as channeling foreign investment to them. And this is very important. When you introduce technology, means that you are facilitating lives. Means that you are presenting quality services.
Yes.
So the role of technology, and we can talk about also the correlation, and I guess that this is an interesting topic that you talked about, technology and education.
Yeah.
And technology and the youth today. Where to?
Where to high?
The sky is the limit, as
Exactly.
they say. Yeah.
So there is no limit for technology and education. And when I'm always saying technology, guys, it doesn't mean the device. It means the way. It means the research. It means the skill itself. How to develop the skill of researching to be the most technological, person in your field. And that's also what the digital transformation is making.
Yeah.
And giving the impact and easiest way for educators to educate in the easiest way with the simplest tools, which is really ready right now. So the digital transformation that's really having like a booming and something that really basically should be happening not only in Egypt and in Africa. So we can cope in that field and very easy. That's already we started with. It's not only, of course, in education, but I'm always say education is the basic.
Yes.
In all the fields. When you are educated, so you are successful in your field. So, and that's become the technology and education fine.
Talking about the mega national projects in Egypt, we have a lot of mega national projects in the country, and the new administrative capital is considered to be a great example. New Alamein City, Ismailia tunnels, new Suez Canal, the industrial zone itself and the economic zone. All those, not to mention the road projects that has been established, upgrading our infrastructure. All that is really helping in branding Egypt globally, and it is always a chance while the president is touring the world and meeting with world leaders to let the world at large know more about the achievements and successes that Egypt has managed to do.
Actually, when he said he said now we are 100 million. But we are not living in all the area of Egypt. We are just specified all of the delta only. And that's why he's making all the infrastructures in everywhere. So people go and invest and work and having a new life in that places, which is really, we have a lot of good resources that it hasn't been used before. So that's the main issue for doing the good infrastructures in so many different places around it, Delta and Upper Egypt, and as you said, in so many places. Even universities, by the way, is opening now, not like before. And it is a governmental universities. It's not only private. No, it's governmental private sectors together. So that's really the investments and really good chance to use the good facilities of Egypt with the good infrastructures. And that's really good impact before. So when you're just going and your son and your kids can go to different places, and he has his own resources around him, he doesn't know to go to the capital. He just having so many options. And that's already shown in different and new universities and new industrial factories and so many facilities that can come with the good infrastructures. So that's why he's focusing on the infrastructures.
Yes, very important, of course, because investors also are going to invest in a country that has a capable infrastructure
Definitely.
that would
Yeah.
definitely facilitate trade exchange and all that. The youth also are considered to be the cornerstone, since we're talking about investing in humans. And a great example, of course, was the World Youth Forums that has been held in Egypt, and they definitely helped also to market and brand Egypt to the whole world.
Actually, I want to just mention related to youth, what's happening before related to the president, that he's focusing only not the normal education, but the special needs education.
Yeah.
And the special needs things. So they have the right for everything. And there is lots of things that caring to the youth. So youth, we have complete cycle of the youth. Really have been used so many facilities lately. I just really want to thank him for that initiative.
Yes, that's very important, of course, what has been done to Zawil Himam, or people with special needs. Is really breathtaking, and great steps taken forward in that respect. Well, Egypt, by heading the AU back in 2019, the country sought to promote the AU's 2063 vision to accomplish its objectives, mainly through addressing the political, economic, and social challenges that might hinder the integration of the continent into a world economy. And we are building on what we have achieved, Dr. Jihan.
Yeah.
Well, our chairmanship of the African Union has been such a great year for Egypt, and has really manifested our support for Africa. And Africans really very much share with Egypt this noble vision of putting hands together for the future and achieving the Africa that we aspire.
Africa, they are our neighbors, okay, and our family from a long time ago. And Egypt's role has so many leadership before in that, and they know the relationship between Egypt and any other countries, especially in Africa. So building the community and building something that really we have lots of resources that we cannot count. Really, we cannot count it. If you're talking about the land, if you're talking about like agriculture, if you're talking about the resources, the normal resources that's really in all African countries, if it is really just developed in the right way by their people, that's already really investing nowadays, you will see another continent, another Africa. Especially that we know exactly that, like focusing so many countries without mentioning them, that they are starting to have a little bit initiative improvement. And that's really shown lately. Some of the African countries, they are really starting just to be initiative and to be leaders in some of the human resources. And that's why they are having the good committee right now. And they have the same aim. And everybody in Africa, they would like what's going on, because investing today, again, investing in humans.
Yes. Very important investing in humans, and Egypt is actually putting this as a main core under the leadership of President Sisi, the human being, the human capital. Look at the health services that are provided also in Egypt and to Egyptian women. Yeah. And we are having, of course, the upcoming beautiful month of March, which is very symbolic for all Egyptian women.
Yes.
And for women empowerment. And the great strides we took. Perhaps also it's always a chance, while branding Egypt globally, to talk about the great steps that has been undertaken in Egypt on the path of women empowerment. Dr. Jihan.
Actually, no need just for having, like women empowerment. There is a lot of initiatives that have been shown to everybody in the whole world what have been done lately about that, and maybe the focusing, they are there, and they were well known, but maybe not a little bit focused for the achievement. And that's really shown in so many things. But lately, we can see that clearly in so many fields. It's not only in one field. don't want to say that they are superior, but you know that the ladies have so many facilities that they are a little bit, they can do lots of things in one time. Okay, and when they focus on something, they can do lots of things.
Yes.
And that's really what have been shown in achievements in Women in Power.
Yes, we're talking development, and in light of the President's directives, the government priorities today is mainly incorporating, promoting efforts to branding Egypt's positive and pivotal role in the region. And it's very important that we do have a 2030 vision, because this has certain stipulations, and to put our hands on, we can see, of course, education as part and parcel of development and planning. And we have also the sense of competitiveness, which is very important, so to speak, concerning marketing.
Yep.
So to achieve this standard of competitiveness in international markets, how do you view that, and what does it take?
I mean, it takes again update and develop. So actually I want to repeat again, marketing and development. Marketing means to develop. We have the basics and we have the skills. So we need to develop that easily. We have the standards that we can follow up. But when we start to train, when we start to do something that's really coping and updating, we need to follow up what we have been doing. And that's the core of everything. When I'm developing, I'm following up, and I'm making continuous sustainability. So that's why from the sustainable things that we are doing in education and all other fields, so the follow-up for what we are doing.
Yes, and also in the field of tourism, it was great to see the whole world following up the historic Rams Road and the Golden Mummies Parade, and more than one important achievement in that sector, which has been really attractive for Egypt and branding Egypt throughout the whole world. The role of soft power is also very important. It goes hand in hand with education and development.
Sharing.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yes. Sharing is considered to be great.
Sharing the knowledge is always having been the core of education.
Yes, definitely. Well, more than one important aim of this important forum, and we have mainly the different mega projects, talking about the mega projects and introducing all what has Egypt has achieved to the whole world. Egypt is focusing on stability, the country's geographic diversity, its entrepreneurial character also of the people. We are expecting actually a very important and a very busy agenda for the President in Brussels attending this important summit. And more than one important topic, as we've mentioned, not only education, but also they are going to talk improving health, they're going to talk job creation, managing undocumented migration, combating militant groups, very important issues on the agenda. Many thanks for watching. That was our daily debate for tonight. And I'm Takhrit Hussein, thanking you all for being with us.